Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Man,
What's up, man?
we're here.
We are
We're
here.
here.
You're excited, it seems like.
I am. I got new energy, man.
New
I
energy?
got some new energy.
Tell me about this, man.
Yeah, so like yesterday, I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast, but we were Candace had the opportunity to do like a 5K with a corporation they work with crimes against women and children.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful.
So it was, she could do it, and it's like, okay, let's so
do
she did it. She
Yeah.
signed up for it, and
Yeah.
she asked me about doing it, and I was like, man, I ain't done a 5K like in a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done a 5K.
Yeah. Why are you looking like that when you say it's been a while?
It's been a while, like,
Okay.
because I used to do 5Ks a lot, and it's a lot of, like, I would get to the point where I could get down to like maybe mid-20s on my time.
Mid-20s.
But man, getting to that point, just to get to that point, it's a lot of work, man, to get to that.
Mid-20s.
So we were good. So we signed up for it.
Yeah.
And one of the goals we had was we just wanted to walk it. Like, I'm not out there to like kill it or whatever.
Crash the tide.
We just wanted to get under like 60 minutes. Like, just do an hour, knock it out in an hour.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our goal for the whole thing.
Right.
Just do that. And training wise, we did a lot of it at the house. Had some hills to challenge us a little bit.
Yeah.
But we couldn't. We did one training. I was like, okay, we got to do 5K. We got to do 3.1 miles. And we got to see where we're at.
Right.
And this is like maybe 2 weeks before the race.
2 weeks before the race.
And we're timing it. And we do it in the shade like maybe 62, 63 minutes. And I was like, I feel pretty good about this. I think we can make this.
Come race day, we're good.
We'll make it. If we got to do a little jog, we can do a little jog. So race day comes, and it's cooler now, so that was good.
Oh, yeah.
The heat, the heat would have been miserable, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Nice and cool. We get there, and there's probably there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people.
So why you say it like that?
Because when you get there's certain, if you do runs, you kind of know who's there to crush it.
Yeah.
And then who's there just like support and just participate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I hope some of these people are gonna walk.
Oh, because
we're that was our intention. We were just gonna walk it.
What happens if all the people ran?
Oh,
what would y'all done?
We probably would have run. We probably would have jogged.
Oh, okay. Because
another thing in my back of my mind was like, as long as I'm not last, because I know we can do it under 60. I could get that. But then the other layer was being last.
What does it take to not be last?
And I was like, man. So the race starts.
What does it take?
And like the first half mile it was rough on like just because of the way the road was.
Yeah.
You know how the road curves
Yeah.
just to drain. And a lot of times, like if I'll be in the middle because it's not wearing down one side of your leg, like my right leg.
Yeah.
But it was rough the first half mile because of that. And we were doing pretty good. Like we weren't last.
We weren't last.
We weren't last. We were making good pace. Like the pace we were keeping at was
and
plenty.
You probably had your watch and like you.
Yeah, I had my phone. I was checking my phone,
everything,
just like checking to make sure the pace
was
right.
You knew everything.
And I was like, okay, we're doing good. We're under the 60 minutes.
We're under it, man.
And everything. And we get to we don't even get to the mile marker. And I hear this like heavy breathing.
What is this?
Running. And I was like, who is? And here comes first place guy.
Oh no.
We're not even a mile in, man. And he's booking it. I'm like, did he ever let up the whole time or he just kept going?
He just kept going.
And I was like, oh man, we ain't even made it for a mile. I'm like, we gotta.
In
your mind, you're thinking, okay, well,
this is
because there wasn't that many people behind us.
Yeah,
there really wasn't. And in my mind, I'm going like, we need to we might need to pick the pace up a little bit. Like I don't want to be last. I don't want to step it up just a little bit. And so we get to the last turn to do the straightaway.
Yeah.
And another thing was it's 2 laps.
Okay.
So the dynamic of a 5K, if you're having to do laps, I kind of feel like it defeats the purpose. Like I would like to do a 5K where it's one whole length. If I've got to run laps,
loop it around.
It kind of makes it I wouldn't say boring, but it's predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I'm doing a 5K and it's like just one length, I don't know what's coming up ahead. All I know is I need to keep going.
Yeah.
So when I come back and I see the finish line and you see people already finished,
yeah.
It kind of defeats. I don't know. It might kind of mess with you a little bit. It's like, man, they all finished. They're all finished. I'm like, I got another lap. So we get up there. And
but let me ask you.
They're cheering us on the whole time.
But let me ask you. But the goal was
under
walk
60.
Under 60
to get it under 60.
So how does some of that
it messes with you, man?
It messes with you, and it's
like for a competitive nature kind of person.
Strategy.
Yeah, and you've got to stick to the strategy, the goal, what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Because
if you start veering off, man, you might pull a hammy and then you're not making it, period.
What if you go out there and you just like, man, like that's why I asked you, I said, hey, what do you say? I know the goal. I said, what, are you going to jog in me or run? And you're like, yeah, we might. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like, what's the strategy? What's the strategy? What's the goal?
What's the goal? Because that's a key thing. And that's one thing to bring up because a lot of people, they'll want to do something and it's like you start something but you don't finish something. You know what I mean? So it's like, what was the purpose of going out there?
What's the purpose?
I mean, yeah, we want to support the women and children that they help. That organization. And then at the same time, we want to make this thing under 60. Like that was the whole point of the thing. And they're cheering us all the employees for that were cheering us on the whole time.
That's good.
So that was good. But we get to the second lap. Yeah. And we're making good time. I'm checking it. I'm like, oh man, we're actually doing pretty good. Like we might get we're
gonna get under.
Because I was joking around with Candace beforehand. I was like, we need to do it under 50. I think we can get 50.
I think we can get.
And I was like, man, if we jog a pretty good bit of this, we probably could have made it on 50.
Yeah.
But we weren't. I knew we weren't ready for that one. I knew that.
Yeah.
So we get
I
past.
like how you're saying. I know we're not ready for that because you're sticking to your
that
with your
was the
wife
goal.
and
That
sticking
was
with
the
your
goal.
strategy.
Yeah. And we get maybe a tenth of a mile into the second lap, and I look back, and all I see is Candace. And I'm like, "Where's everybody else?"
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if they bailed. I don't know what it was.
Where's everybody else? Oh my God.
Because I was looking back. I'm like, okay, we're ahead.
Yeah.
We're ahead of a couple other people.
Yeah.
And then I look back, and it's like, it's me and Ken. I'm like,
There's no other.
where is everybody else?
Yeah. It wasn't enough happening.
Well, we were talking. We were sitting there because we were like, man, we're a mile. What was it? Like we were maybe a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I think it might have been 2. And we were talking. Like, man, I feel good. Like I'm warmed up.
Yeah, strong.
Like this isn't. I feel better now than I did starting.
It's easy work.
And we were thinking about it. It's like, yeah. And like we don't want to be last.
Right.
So like we're like, we got to pick up the pace. We got to at least get ahead.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're walking, a lot of other people were walking and we kept the same pace. It's just they were ahead of us.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we got to pick up the pace. Maybe do a little jog. If it's a downhill thing, get it in. That kind of stuff.
So where did the people end up being?
I think they left the first lap, man. I know somebody.
You think they left?
I think the first lap, they just stopped at the first lap.
They stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, I don't know what the goal was. I know what our goal was.
Just to show up was the goal, I guess.
But yeah, so it was just like me and Candace.
You didn't see him cheering at the end?
I can't even remember. I don't even honestly remember who it was that was behind us. Okay. Like I can't really but I do know there was people behind us. And then they weren't behind us.
They were at a different course. They got lost.
But yeah, so we were like, okay, we got to pick up the pace. So we passed a group, passed another group, and we kind of stayed at that pace.
Y'all are passing groups?
And I was like, yeah. And man, we made it 55 minutes.
55.
And we felt good.
That's good, man.
And at the end, like they do the award ceremony, right? So, you know, the fastest guy, he got his medal, you know, of the men and women.
Yeah.
And then they do age groups.
Yeah.
And so this was what was so funny about it. I finished and you had a card, you signed your name.
Yeah.
And everything on. And you hand it to the lady and she puts it in whatever the age group bucket was that you were in. And she tells me, she says, oh, well, you might want to stay because you're going to get a medal.
You might want to stay.
Because you're going to get, you're going to place. You're going to place.
You're going to place.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to place. And I don't know if Candace knew that or not, but when we started doing the award ceremony and they got to the age groups, and they got the Candace's age group, they called up third place. And I saw the lady, and she was the one that was behind us. And I was like, Candace, like you're gonna place. you're gonna place.
Right.
So she got second.
That's wonderful.
I got first, mainly because I'm the only one in my age group.
You're the only one in the age group.
But it was good to solidify that because we did our goal. We met our goal. Yeah. And that was just icing on the cake, getting an award.
Yeah, rewarded for staying to the goal.
I mean, we stuck to the goal we won.
That's good.
But it got me to thinking like how, you know, finishing. Like just finish.
Yeah. So some people
finish, and more specifically, if you make the goal and that's what you want to accomplish, just finish. Like, don't give up on it. You know?
Excuse me.
So it's like, and that was like, that's like with this podcast, it's like, finish. Like on this episode, like, just finish.
Just finish, man. That's the takeaway.
And like you were going to ask me a question about,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
because I mean the way I endeavored to like set it up to say, because you said okay, the way you said okay, we got my wife,
Mm-hmm.
co-worker supporting an agency organization that helps
Right.
women and youth. So then, okay, hey, then you said you look back and there's some people that you don't see no more. You don't know if they finished. You don't know what happened. So I was saying, okay, in my mind, the way my mind processes it is if you were not able to race that day,
Yeah.
would your wife been in the group that disappeared? Or would she would have stick to the goal of the
That's a good,
strategy
and that's a good
and
question.
say, hey, let me do what I'm capable of doing, whatever that looks like,
Yeah.
and finish.
I feel like I need to ask you that question, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like just when we started doing the second lap and like there wasn't really anybody behind us,
Yeah.
she was the one saying, we can't be last.
We can.
We've got to get it. And she's got that competitive nature to her
Yeah.
on that. And I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, yeah, let's
We
do
can
this.
now be last.
And I feel like she would have been the same way
Yeah.
if it was just her.
Well, I commend you, man.
Because she would have knocked it out.
I commend you, man.
Yeah.
Because if you set the stage with, if I were going to my wife's company 5K, and her goal was what it was, I don't know if I'd have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play your goal.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying I commend you.
Yeah.
Because I might be like, man, I'm finna figure out. I'm trying to keep up with the guy in the front. Like,
right. The competitive
like,
side of it.
It's not. That's not what this is for.
And that's exactly what it was.
That's not what this is for. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So then I take it to another step. At what point would it have been? So if I would have said, okay, well, I'm not going to try to be the guy that's already finished what y'all are doing y'all first lap.
Right.
At what point do you get the group together and you keep everybody going?
I know. That's how
you motivate the other people that disappeared to say, like, not only we're going to take care of my wife, but I'm going to help these other people.
And that was one thing that popped in my head. It was like, because at the end of the race, I went and got, to do the banana thing with the water and stuff. So I was coming back and she was talking and she said, oh, Braxton would have never let me do that. And I was like, I would let you do what?
Okay.
Well, I asked her, I was like, what let you do what? And she was like, let me just stop on first lap. And I was like, heck no, I wouldn't let you stop on first lap.
That wasn't the goal.
That wasn't our goal.
It wasn't the strategy.
But I feel like she would have stuck to it too.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like you have like the support group you have, and then be able to push people to finish. And maybe not even finish, but understand like what was the true goal of you being here.
Yeah, what was your goal? What was your intention?
So that when you do things in the future, you understand.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to do this. How do I finish it?
How do I finish? Clearly defined.
Right.
Yeah. Because by no means, I mean, you never know what people are.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been
going on.
I think one of them, one person was like, had like some stomach issues. So I mean, like if you're having stomach issues and you're not feeling right, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's torture.
Because there's a lot of times. Another thing to this is there's like a thing called completion bias. Like if you look it up,
completion.
It's like you want to complete it.
Yeah.
And that's like, for example, this one, I wanted to complete it in 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I wanted to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
To the point where I might injure myself trying to go above and beyond.
Mm.
It's like that wasn't the goal.
Yeah, you want to live to run another day.
Right.
You got to know your race.
You know your race. And that's where the completion bias is like, you just want to complete things. And it's like, you're not. Like, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Like, understanding that.
Did they drive the cars home?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Doing it for women and children. And
yeah.
It's like.
Because
they're cheering you on.
And the people that work there, man, they're. Yeah. And just knowing from like what Candace has told me with what they do and everything, it's like that's a big impact.
It's a big impact.
And then they talked about like they had over 1,000 and something people that they've helped, like from that place.
Yeah. Man, I thought you had your medal. I thought you had your medal on.
I thought about it, man. I was like, it's in the other car. I was like,
that.
It's a little heavy too, man.
Oh, is it?
It's a little heavy. It's a little heavy metal, man.
You need to stay. Because you're going to get a medal. You're going to place.
But yeah, that was icing on the cake. But to tie it in, man, like the whole completion bias, it really got me thinking about like our goals and like tasks and stuff we do in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
And really, you know, I was reading an article, and one of the things is like why you aren't finishing your projects or finishing something. And it could be like fear of failing to impress. So that plays a factor. Like, are you trying to impress somebody?
Yeah.
You know, another one would be like fear of setting the bar too high. That's something you got to know. Yeah. You set the bar too high. Yeah, it could probably.
Like, man, we're gonna do it in 24 minutes. You're like,
yeah. Or like you could go all out, and then it's like you got to live up to that standard, and it's like, are you ready to live up to that standard, kind of thing, in a way, and then. Yeah, not wanting to put it into the fun. Like, you know how you got to put the work in?
Yeah.
But you're just playing around with it kind of thing. So to me, I feel like we accomplished a lot out of that 5K. Because we did what we said we were going to do.
Y'all going back out. Right?
Yeah, we're going to do one next year. I'm thinking the beginning of next year.
Another one. New goal. What's the new goal?
I want to run it, man.
Let's hear
for me, if we're doing a 5K, I want to run it. Like, I want to run it. And I'm like with Candace, I want her to just be able to like knock it out. Like, if she could walk it in 45.
Walk it in 45.
Man.
Yeah.
Or whatever her, that's something, you probably talk about. Like, say, what's your goal? What's the goal?
Yeah.
And then that's the goal.
That's it.
Don't make it more than what it is.
Stick to
it.
Follow the strategy.
But yeah.
That's good, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing the.
Yeah, it was 5K. Good, man. 5K. But I can't remember the last time I did the 5K.
Well, you can remember now.
Yeah. It was fun, though. Enjoyed it.
That's good.
Finished it. Completed the goal. It makes you feel, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
We talked about it the whole time yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it was like, you knocked it out. Like, you
owned the race. You didn't let it own you.
Right. Then we joked about being sore.
Oh, really? Joked about it. Well, it's good, man. Finish what you start, man.
Finish what you start. Make sure you know what you need to finish. Set your goals. Be detailed about it.
We know you're detailed.
Be detailed about it.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.